What's up guys, welcome to Daily Refinement. Today's video we're going to go over 46 auctions that I started on Whatnot at $1. We're also going to go over why I do not use eBay auctions. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so we're just going to go over my general experience with selling on Whatnot, why I don't use eBay auctions, and we're going to go over what sold so you guys can check out what I sold. So overview of the whole thing, I sold $6,080 worth of stuff. I did 46 auctions, 43 of them actually went through. So of the 46, 2 people asked to cancel. One person asked to cancel and I accepted, and the other one I declined. So you have the option on Whatnot to decline an offer if somebody placed the order by mistake, because all offers are binding. That is very different from eBay, because on eBay, a buyer can change their mind for any reason and eBay has their back. In fact, even if it's for literally any reason, the customer can open up a return, eBay will force the return. And that's actually why I think eBay has a longer longevity, because when you take care of customers like that, even though sellers don't necessarily like that, when you take care of buyers, buyers keep coming back with that trust. On Whatnot, if you get burned and Whatnot doesn't take care of you, you might not go back to the platform. So for longevity, I think it just depends on what types of things you're selling, but I do think eBay is going to be around forever. So these Dylan high or lows, these skate shoes are pretty cool. They sold with the company Huff, H-U-F. Interestingly enough, all these shoes right here, when I looked them up on eBay, I think the total that I would have grossed, this is the amount of money that came in, would have been around $5,000. So it sold for $6,000 on Whatnot, which is more than what I would have sold them on eBay. And the Whatnot auction was only 2 hours. And I think a lot of that hype and fun helped the items sell for more than eBay. On eBay, it would have taken me between 3 and 6 months to sell all of the items that are on the floor here. A lot of them would have sold immediately, but some of them would take some time. So I was able to print all the labels on Whatnot all at once using their bulk label maker. So it's pretty interesting. It comes with a label and a packing slip like that, so which is a good experience for the buyer. They get to figure out what's in the box and their label. So this is an Air Max 1, so when that comes up, we'll match this up and I'll make sure that the number that I have on the bottom of the shoe, which is right here, corresponds with the number on the label. And it's nice to see that it is on here. So this says 14025. I'll match it up as we go, and we'll just go through these as I put it together. So these Pro Keds sold, really cool. DJ Jazzy Jeff, and I remember that this order was part of a 4-part order. So for the buyers on Whatnot, the combined shipping works really well. Every additional item, you only pay $1 extra for shipping. So one person bought 4, one person bought 3. I think one person may have bought 6 items. So they only paid $1 for each additional item that they bought, which is great for buyers. These up-tempos sold, beautiful up-tempos. Sold a few pairs of these, and what was most surprising is that the prices were pretty close to what you would get on eBay. A few of them sold for less and a few of them sold for more. These Air Forces are the Knicks colors. They sold size 6.5. I actually do have another pair that's my size 12, which I'll throw up on Thursday. So if you guys want to join my Whatnot auction, the link will be in the description below. And we're going to run it on Thursday. I'm not sure what time yet, but you can see it. We'll put up the time when I go live on Thursday to see how it does. And I'm thinking about what day of the week I want to run the auctions, but I'm thinking about doing it once a week. And you know, it goes to show, I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think about Whatnot? Does it only work if you have a social media influencer background? Because right now it's showing on the site that they're only accepting people that have live streaming experience. So I don't know if that's because they only want sort of host type people to do it. If that's the case and they're really pushing that, then I will be the host. I'll just put it in as another job that I do each week. These shacks that sold are really beautiful. This person ended up buying 4 items. In full transparency, this is the item that the person wanted to cancel that I declined. So these sold for $300 on the auction, and I feel like that's exactly what the market is on these. So I want to just have this sale be final. Now, this could be a bad experience for the buyer because, and this buyer bought multiple items. So this buyer may not be getting exactly what they want. Essentially what happened was they misheard the size during the auction, and I think this is going to fit him just fine because this is a size 11.5 and he bought other size 11.5, so maybe the fit is slightly different. But on eBay, he could have forced a return. So it's interesting. This is the one where the buyer is going to have to live with their purchase because it was a binding offer. We're going to find the pair of shoes in just a moment. I think that somebody canceled and I accepted because they sold for under market value. So when I resell those Iversons, they're actually going to sell for more. And I find that that's interesting that you have the option as the seller to cancel. These Converse high leather shoes are really nice. And they ended up selling for over $100, which is above eBay. So that is interesting. I don't know if this one went to somebody in my audience, or maybe they're worth a lot more because they have the lunar lawn bottom. If you guys don't know, Nike owns Converse. So sometimes they do a lot of collaborations like this where they mix them together. So that is interesting. I don't think they would have sold for as much on eBay. That being said, also, I rarely talk about my eBay store on my YouTube channel. I know I obviously do get sales from people who follow me. My audience will, if they're looking for common goods, they'll go into my store and they'll buy a wholesale box or they'll buy one of these items. So I know my audience does buy it, but I don't know if that's required. If it is required, should I be teaching people also how to build a social media following? Do you feel like that's required moving forward? You're gonna have to do both. You're gonna have to run a business, reselling items, and run a media company with yourself as the main actor. That could be the future. These Gucci loafers, they sold for $325 or something like that. These beautiful loafers, they have a retail of $990. The most I have sold these for is $595 plus shipping. But these ones sold for $3 something. I think there's still a little bit of meat on the bone, but at they're size US 15.5, which is not the best size. So, you know, these shoes ended up selling for about what they cost at the Gucci outlet. So a lot of people have been saying, what brand would I sell if I could only sell one brand? And it would be Gucci. So maybe I will head up to the outlet, which is in Livermore, California. Maybe I'll go up with Christine during their sale and we'll wait in line and be those people. But Gucci is one of those brands I usually stay away from because they come after you if they think that you're selling fakes. And I'm not selling fakes. This is 100% authentic. It has all the label on it from the outlet. You can see what they pay. I think these ones, they sold for $312. I believe I paid $300 for them at the outlet. So this one, I don't think I came up on, but I did make a lot of money on the different sizes. So sometimes when you're at the outlet, they make you buy every size if you're going to buy in bulk. So you win some, you lose some. I feel like that's what happened with this auction. My average cost of goods on the 44 items was around $50. So $50, and my average sale price is $143. So I want to do stuff that can make me at least $100,000 in profit a year. So I would have to run, if I'm running at 20% margin, I have to do $10,000 a week in sales, which is around, I would say, 100 types of items like this. These Jordan 4s sold. I'm gonna wrap all the items in like a plastic mailer like this. These ones are very interesting because a lot of people may not know the market. Just because it's a Jordan 4 in almost perfect condition, they're almost worth $200 no matter what color. Now these sold for about $250. They sell for like $250 to $300 new. These were pre-owned and it sold for $212. So I feel like that's all the money. I got all the money for this pair of shoes, which is not my usual model, is just get most of the money most of the time. So these ones did sell for more money. This Flintstones t-shirt, single stitch, sold for $9, which I feel like is what this shirt is worth. It's worth about $9 plus shipping. It is vintage, single stitch, very cool. This payment ended up failing on Whatnot. So I didn't know how that works. So I wasn't able to check during the auction. So I just left it alone and ignored it. But they ended up updating their contact information and the sale went through. So there is an item in here, the Supra highs, if you guys are watching, which will go live on Thursday again. Those ones ended up selling by a troll for like $100,000. And then we ran it again and it sold for $400,000. So the same troll bid those items up. That item actually did not end up selling. So I spent the time listing that item even though it never sold. That doesn't really happen on eBay. When you list an item, it's up there until it sells. So Now we have some Jordan 10s. I feel like Jordans sold for great money on Whatnot. They're trendy, they're cool, they're hyped, and they sold for about market value, so very happy with that as well. So my colleague Tech and Sports, I don't know if you guys know, he's the #1 seller of vintage clothing, maybe in the world, but he told me that this 49ers sweater sells for between 20 and 50, depending on, you know, just the market and timing, if they're playing right now, etc., what season it is it actual football season. I sold mine for $41, which is right in that range. I think I got a little bit more than someone without a YouTube following with these, but this would have sold no matter what. So that 49ers sweater sold. I sold a couple of eBay shirts. We gave away one of them, and another one somebody purchased outright. This skateboard, somebody said on StockX was selling for 400. And it sold for 200. So somebody came up on this. I got this for selling $1 million worth of sneakers on eBay. They gave me this Murakami skateboard, so that will go out to somebody who came up. Hopefully they can sell for 400 and double up their money. I'm trying to sell some of this stuff wholesale because most of my audience is resellers. So hopefully somebody can make $100 on that. That would be great. These Air Force Hamptons, very beautiful. Air Force Ones usually come with this authenticity card, so you want to look for that when you're buying it if you can, when you're getting it with the box. So this is a great pair. Also, you want to talk about yellowing if there is any with a pair of shoes. These are really crispy. If I was still trying to be cool, I would have worn these because I mean, white Air Force Ones is the most commonly sold lifestyle shoe. So really nice. These shoes, I wanted to go over the EU on the tag. The EU does not stand for Europe, it stands for emotionally unavailable. This is a Valentine's Day release. So this is a women's pair, sold for around market. So I love Air Force Ones, and you could only sell Air Force Ones if that was your niche. You could buy and sell them because people are always looking for the colorways. The Ewing highs, we ended up giving these away. So these kicks are super beautiful, super cool, high top. We ended up giving these away in the Whatnot giveaway, and I'm not a huge fan of the giveaways because sometimes bots win. So I don't want bots to win, so I'd rather just start these at $1 and let somebody get a good deal rather than giving them away in the future. So I don't know how into giveaways I'm going to be in the future. I would rather just let somebody, again, get a great deal. These Superstar shell toe Adidas, these are like your bread and butter. You're going to find these at the thrift store. They have the shell toe top, which it's kind of hard to see through the bag, but they just have the shell, like clamshell type of top, and you'll see these. They're very, very common. You'll find those at the thrift store. More Dunk highs. These were in pretty good condition, and again, my number 14038 is going to make it so it's easy to find the item in the future. These ones somebody came up on. These Reebok Questions are a prototype. They've got the gold question mark on the bottom. Very, very cool item. And I know that this for sure, you could probably get $500 for these on a good day, and they're $150. So it just depends. Some of them you win some, you lose some. I think that's part of this particular game. And we're going to do a time lapse of me shipping all these in just a moment. But whenever you start a new endeavor, all the other pieces of your puzzle still have to go. I still have to get my regular eBay shipping done. Still have to get all my household stuff done. So it never ends. These ponies, I think sold for 25 bucks, which is just a little bit under retail, which is what I would have expected for just a normal shoe. No hype, just something that somebody would wear normally. So I think there's a good market for everyday shoes. I would consider this an everyday value category. This is something that you might find at TJ Maxx, Ross too, for $20 to $30. Just a classic shoe. I'm pretty excited about Whatnot being able to sell that as well. More Iversons. These ones like the Irish Conor McGregor colors, I call them, with the suede. Really, really good shoes. I would not be able to pull off wearing these. You'd have to, I wish they were Conor McGregor's style. I could probably get his attention with something this flashy. But these are cool. End up going out. The sale of the day was the Huarache PlayStations. So this is going to be something that, you know, people wonder. These PlayStation Huaraches, sold for $1,004 on the Whatnot auction. And there was a pair on eBay for $4,500, 4500, but I've never actually seen a pair of these sell. So it is a sample. There is no number. It did come with the original sample box, size 11.5. Could I have gotten more than 1,000 on eBay? Maybe, but who knows how long I would have to wait. And yes, you could sell it for 4,000 to the right buyer. But again, I don't know how long that would take. It's very interesting on Whatnot getting that immediate sale. So hopefully somebody came up, whoever bought this, Godspeed to you. I hope you sell for $4,000 and come up big on it. That would make me happy for you. So hopefully they did okay. These curries. Now this is something that definitely would not have sold for this much on eBay. These sold for $39 on Whatnot, and these shoes are worth 10. I even said on the auction, these are beaters and you'd only wear them to go get your mail. These are not shoes that you would wear playing basketball. There's no tread left. These are done. So Curry 2s, these are shoes that I purchased to resell, and I saw them on eBay. The shoes are in good condition, but the soles are completely worn out. There was no picture of the sole on the eBay listing. So I ended up filing a return, sent this to the customer. They rejected the return and it came back to me. So I talked to eBay, they gave me the money back and I got to keep the shoes. So it's one of those scenarios where the seller really took it because they paid shipping to me. They paid the return shipping back to them. eBay took all the money from the sale and they paid it back to me. So this seller lost 2 ways of shipping and they got a defect. So that's something that you want to avoid as a buyer or as a seller. So these are the tennis ball Reeboks, and they ended up selling for like $150, and I think that's about 10-20% above market. These Dunks are beautiful. We call them like the ice cream colorway because it looks a bit like a popsicle. So this like the creamsicle colorway except for, you know, minty green. So the mint chocolate chip Nutella colorway sold for like $118, which is kind of high. I think these are probably worth about $90. So sometimes they sell for more, sometimes they sell for less. The Air Bacons, I'm sad that they only sold for $112 because I should have just kept them, especially because they're just, I love this shoe so much, but it didn't have the insole. So bummer, because I would have kept these, but no insole. I love these shoes. Penny 2s. Sold for more than retail, which is unusual, but they are in perfect condition and they are essentially new. I only wore them for one YouTube video and in one Instagram short. And they are reflective, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but these are really, really cool. If you do the flash or you're running outside, they reflect really well and they're super duper cool. So those sold. These New Balances sold for around 40 bucks. About the same as eBay. So I think these would sell fast on eBay as well. Very cool colorway. Classic bread and butter. These Cortezes sold for about 80, which ended up being about market value. So, you know, my general theme is it's pretty interesting that all this stuff sold for around eBay. So I'm wondering, you know, do I just say, everybody out there in YouTube land, you send me your stuff, I'll sell it on live auction, we can sell it immediately. Maybe I would consider doing consignment on this model because it's so fast to get paid and I wouldn't have to wait an extended period of time, and there are no returns on Whatnot, which makes it also very enticing. More up-tempos. These 12 up-tempo size 12s were great with the suede. And we sold some KDs. So some Kevin Durant sold. Kevin Durant 6s, beautiful stuff. They sold for around 70. These ones, somebody came up. I think these Olympic Reeboks, they're so cool with the pastel colors. This one only sold for 120, and these are awesome. They're from 1996, really cool vintage colors. And if you're a collector, that's a really cool shoe. It's similar to the Kamikaze. Oh, it is. It's a Kamikaze too. I was gonna say, it looks like the Kamikaze silhouette. So these are awesome. More Jordans. The Jordan Mellow was the first auction of the day, and the Jordan Mellow was the one that was rotating on the video about The Rock. So some people said that was distracting, but come on, it shouldn't distract you too much. This is spinning in the video, and I had a few comments about it spinning too fast, and it does oscillate. You can have the machine go halfway and go back, or all the way around. But these sold for about $210 with Carmelo Anthony on the tag. You know, those, it's cool. Carmelo Anthony is, I don't like him because he kind of disrupted Lynn's sanity back in the day. So, you know, for what it's worth. These Airwovens sold, size 8, just a normal everyday shoe. This is part of a bulk purchase, which I'll put together later. This person bought 4 pairs. And we've got these neighborhood Adidas, which I hope somebody can come up big on these. They're really cool. They've got the shark tooth along the midsole. So I like these shoes a lot. Maybe something that I would have worn. These Laker up-tempos are really cool, and I thought they were going to be worth a lot more, but they ended up just selling for sort of what they're worth. So around $218 or something. But this is one of those shoes where somebody who didn't know their value, I feel like these could have gone for like $300 if people got hyped up and they wanted to you know, they wanted a Mamba Kobe Bryant color, Lakers color, or they were a fan of LeBron. They would have stepped up on these. If you wore these to a Lakers game, you would get a lot of compliments. Okay. All right. So now, just some classic Air Force Ones. This is like the black. I don't know what color. This is like a red bean paste. The red bean paste black Air Force One lows. You know, not bad. And then these Iversons, bright red, fantastic. These sold as well for around $150. So I feel like I got most of the money for all of these auctions. Not terrible. We're gonna go ahead and pack all these right now, and then we'll get into my final thoughts of the platform after this. Okay, so in the Whatnot auction seller dashboard, you can bulk generate the labels, or you can print the labels one by one. It doesn't matter which way you do it. So once you print the label, it will open up a screen with the labels, and it will print both the packing slip and the shipping label. So I did bulk generate label and printed them all at the same time, but you could just do one at a time. In the example we did earlier with the Dunk 11, that pair, you can just print the label. It'll open it up in a new window like this. And you can just print the packing slip and the label at the same time. So I recommend shipping one at a time. I just wanted to test Whatnot, so I did the bulk generate label. The one at a time would just be the same as eBay. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do, and this is different from my eBay process, is I'm actually going to find every single item and match the items first. So let's see here, 14035. So as an example, this says 14035 and the label says 14305. So what I'm gonna do to match them is I'm just gonna put the label on top and set it to the side. And I'm gonna do that first with all the items just to make sure that I have everything accounted for before I start shipping. And then I'm gonna box and tape everything at the same time. Okay, so just to simplify things for Whatnot, I put 4 pounds for every single weight on the pair of shoes, and there are no shoes here over 4 pounds. And the ones that ended up being multi-order, like this gentleman ordered 7 pairs, it's a 28-pound package for this. So I'm going to Frankenbox a bunch of different size boxes for these customers. Shout out to American Bubble Boy for sending me not unlimited, but like a few rolls of bubble wrap. And you get $5 off if you use code Daily Refinement, and that'll help you guys get some bubble wrap. I'm gonna bubble wrap the more valuable ones and to prevent them from shaking around in the box. I am going to Frankenbox 2 of these boxes on top of each other so I don't have to cut my own custom size box. And then I'm gonna use these size boxes, the normal USPS shoe boxes, for the shoes that are loose, like this one. And then also, will time lapse me putting these all together, but I'm using a 3-inch tape gun to make it easier, so I can just do one layer of tape across the top for each one. And that's it, pretty straightforward. I matched all the labels to the corresponding shoes before to make sure there's no missing items. I'll double check again as I put them in the box. And you know, normally on eBay, you would have to weigh every single item, and that takes a little bit longer, and you have to enter in the dimensions as well. But you have to make sure on Whatnot to not use a flat rate envelope or flat rate mailer. It's the same as Poshmark. They recommend just sending it in these are the large mailing boxes, not the large flat rate. So don't use flat rate boxes for Whatnot. They ask you not to do that. But otherwise, let's get into it. Okay guys, so in conclusion, the reason why I don't use eBay auctions is because the buyer has an opportunity not to pay. On Whatnot, they charge the customer immediately when the auction ends, and if the payment fails, they let you know. So I actually only had one payment fail, and the person updated their information, so I was able to get their order out, which is the Flintstone shirt, and that is going out today. So it's important to understand when you're using eBay, it does have a much larger base. So if you run a 7-day or 10-day auction on a really rare item, you might reach 10,000 people on that auction, versus a Whatnot auction is going to have, like, at most during my stream there was 350 people. So it is live and more exciting, but you're going to reach potentially tens of thousands of people on eBay with a rare hot item, especially if you start at $1 with a long duration. So overall, my thoughts with Whatnot is it's great, and I'm going to start adding it into my my arsenal. I'm going to do it once a week, I think, going forward. So as long as I can find the right stuff for the platform, I think it'll do okay. But I appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time.